Hello everyone. Today we are not solving the Lead Code Daily Challenge, but will be solving the contest question that happened the last week. And today's question that I have picked up is tuples with same product. In this question, you are given an input array and you need to identify the count of tuples consisting of four elements such that there is a relationship between those four elements, A into B equals to C into D, and you need to return its count. How many such numbers are there in which satisfy this condition, and you need to simply return that count. For example, in this array we have 2, 3, 4, 6, and there are 8 such valid tuples. 2 into 6 is 12, 3 into 4 is 12, and its different permutations are listed here. So 2, 6 is 12, 3, 4, then 2, 6, 4, 3, then 6, 2, 3, 4, then 6, 2, 4, 3, 3, 4, 2, 6, and 4, 3, 2, 6, 3, 4, 6, 2, and 4, 3, 6, 2. So they have counted the permutations independently. They are not interested in the combinations, however, in the permutations part. So let's look at the algorithm quickly. Let me just start the slideshow that I have created, and let me just take a pen here. I'm reiterating what the question told us, all the information. Please note that it was given that all the numbers are distinct in nature. There's no repetition of numbers. And if you are able to identify one particular case where A into B equals C into D, then you can generate four new cases out of it. A into B is equal to C into D. That means B into A equal to C into D. You are just reversing the order. So we are interested in the permutation, not the combination part. And A into B equals to D into C, and B into A equals to D into C. So let's look at the algorithm. How can we solve this? The first approach that strikes my mind when I saw this question is for loop approach. You start from ith index, jth index, loop over I, j, k, and l, and whenever this condition is true, you increase a count variable. However, this will cause a TLE as the order of time complexity is quite high and raised to power 4. What we can do is we can bring in a map, and we can, or a set kind of a thing, where we can check whether this number is actually like the number that we are interested in searching for is there in the map or not. It will reduce the complexity to order of n cube. But let me just propose something which is even smarter. So we'll be using map for this. What we will do, we'll generate all the possible products and store its frequency in a product map. So this is the product map, and the frequency identifies the number of combinations of two elements through which this product is achievable. We have stored its frequency there, and for each product we will do this. And once we are done with this, we will select two elements out of it, two elements frequencies out of it using the NC2 formula. Select two elements from the number of ways in which that product can be achieved. Since you are, suppose there are 10 possible ways to achieve a particular product, I'll use NC2 formula to select any two elements from it. And once I have selected two elements, uh, then I'll be permutating them. That means one element was AB, other was CD, and let me just permutate it. So A into B can be reordered in two ways. So I've stated two here. C into D can be reordered in two ways. I've stated two here. And this element together can be reordered in two ways. I stated this here. So what are the total number of permutations possible? NC2 into 2 into 2 and into 2, because you can reorder them in 8 ways altogether. So we'll be counting its sum and storing it somewhere, and let's walk through one of the case. So we got one. So I'll use your two pointer approach, I index and this is j index, and we got 1 2 comma 1. First sum is 2 is a product and frequency is 1. Then we got 4 comma 1, then we get 5 comma 1, and then we have 10 comma 1. And let's move the to the next iteration. So we start from here, second position, and we'll iterate over these elements. We get 8. So we get 8 comma 1. 8 doesn't exist because 2 into 5 is 10. So 10 already existed, the frequency gets updated to 2. 2 into 10 equals to 20, 20 comma 1, and then we are done with this loop again. Then we start from this position. 4 into 5 is 20, 20 gets incremented, and 4 into 40, 4 into 10 is 40, so 40 gets the new entry in the map, and this loop is done. Then we have 5, 5 and 10 is 50, we are done with this. So 50 comma 1, and we have all these we have built the complete map now, and we'll use the formula for each product. We'll use the formula nc2 into 8, 2 into 2 into 2, and where n stands for the frequency. So nc2 equals to n into n minus 1 by 2 into 8. So this gives me 4 into n in 4n into n minus 1, and let's iterate through the map and store its where n is the frequency of each product in the map. So this is 1, this is becomes 0, this becomes 0, this again becomes 0, this is 2. So 4 into 2 is 8, we get 8, the answer becomes 8, and then we move ahead, this becomes 0, we get again 20, 20 has a frequency 2, we add it to the answer, and answer becomes 16, and then we move ahead, if this becomes 0, this becomes 0, and we're done with the complete map iteration. So we have iterated over the map, we use this formula, filled in to the answer variable, and summed it up. So 16 is our answer, and we are done with the logic. The time complexity of this approach, since you are using two loops for generating the product, the time complexity is order of n square, and the size space complexity is the number of products possible, distinct product possible in the map, which will be again of the power order of n square. Thanks for watching the video, and let's code it up. Find the variable answer, integer ans equals to 0, and let me define a map of integer comma integer map, new hash map, and for integer I equals to 0, I is less than nums dot length, I plus plus. For integer j equals to I plus 1, j is less than nums dot length, j plus plus. And let's calculate the product. Product equals to nums of I into nums of j. If map dot, let's get the previous frequency if that exists in the map. Frequency map dot get or default product comma 0, and let's update the map with the new frequency product comma frequency plus 1, and we have built the map now. What are we going to do? We'll calculate the answer, and let's iterate over each entry in map. Entry map dot entry set. So this method gives us the complete entry set over the map, and let's calculate the frequency for the current entry, get value, and once we have that information, let's update the answer with this with the current the current count that can be generated. So frequency into frequency minus 1 by 2 into 8. So I'm removing by 2 to into 8 by 2 to 4, and that's it. Let's return the answer. Accepted, and let's try this up. accepted. Let's talk about the time complexity of this approach. The time complexity of this approach is order of n square, since you are using two loops to generate all the possible products that are possible in this array, by this array. And the space complexity would be also order of n square, because at max you can generate order of uh, n square products, and hence n square entries will be dumped in the map. So space is also n square, and time is also n square. Hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching the video.